Om Shri Krishna Parabrahmane Namaha. Now I am talking about the code of conduct for life. After the prayer, let us have discussion deeply. Namo Brahma Vidaye Tubhyam Brahma Brahmatmane Namaha Namas Sahasra Shirashe Sahasra Kiranayacha. Patriotism. Our motherland should be our first and highest consideration. Welfare of the nation is our own welfare. Therefore, let us willingly be ready to offer up even our own life for our country. Let us inculcate in our children and members of our family love for our country, the spirit of patriotism and service to our country and our fellow citizens. Duty. Our first and foremost duty is to God and to righteousness. Leading a righteous life is the best and most valuable service to our nation. Character. Character is the greatest wealth. A pure, incorruptible citizen is the greatest asset of our nation. This is vital and indispensable. Therefore, good character is to be given top priority value. Upon this depends our nation's welfare and its future stability. Fourth one, health. Health is the basis of success. Health is wealth. Next to character, it is the greatest national asset. As citizens, building up character and safeguarding health should be our primary duty to the nation. Next, virtue. Let us join hand and eradicate the evils of gambling, liquor, drinking, drug taking, tobacco, smoking, and betel chewing. Let us eradicate the evils of bribery, corruption, selfishness, immorality, dishonesty, and misconduct. Disloyalty to our nation is crime and unpardonable sin. 6. Public property. O citizen, we are custodian of public property. Let us not spoil, misuse, steal, or destroy national property. Let us preserve it with love and care. Let us keep our country neat and clean. This is our sacred duty. Another, one family. All our citizens are brethren. Let us feel this fraternity. Let us all love each other and one another and be united because we are all one family. 8. Religion. We must have equal reverence for all religions, creeds, and faiths. Let us love as our own brother the followers of our faiths. Let us treat others as we wish to be treated by them. 9. Non-violence. At all cost, avoid every type of violence and hatred, for this is a blot on the fair name of the nation. It is soul-killing and cause great harm to our country's welfare and development. It is totally opposed to our nation's deal. Economy. Let us adopt simple living and higher thinking. Let us not be extravagant. Let us avoid waste. Let us practice frugality. Let us avoid unnecessary things. Let us share what we have with our less fortunate fellow citizens. This is national virtue that our India needs today. 11. Laws. Law means let us respect the rule of law and uphold social justice. In this lies the guarantee of our welfare and orderly progress towards a better India. 12th. Ahimsa. Non injury is our highest virtue. Compassion is a divine quality. Protection of animals is our sacred duty. This is India's special teaching. Let us be compassionate towards all creatures. Thus, be a true Indian. Try to become an embodiment of kindness, compassion, and goodness in your everyday life. Ecology. Man and nature are inseparable. Man and his natural environment are interrelated and mutually interdependent. Everything in nature contributes to our protection and nourishment. Let us, therefore, protect our natural environment. Helping in maintaining the ecological balance is our duty. It is indispensable for our safe living and highest welfare. Polluting of public places and polluting of air and water of the country is a national crime. We must make amends of our past lapses. 14. Unity. The more united the people of a country, the greater is their ability to withstand all obstacles and dangers. United, we stand; divided, we fail, we fall. This is particularly true about today's India. Therefore, let us live in close harmony and loving goodwill with all our countrymen. Love of our country means the love of our countrymen. This is the most invaluable service a citizen of India can offer to our motherland. 15th. Education. The process of education should incorporate within the imparting of the basic knowledge of India's great culture, its lofty ideals, and noble values and principles of living. Our education has to be oriented for enriching and enhancing the quality of life of our youth and students. Most of the time in our lives, our desires ruin us. But all desires are not bad. In the Bhagwad Geeta, Lord Krishna says, awaken viveka in you. To let go of desires you have to follow a certain code of conduct. This is manure by which the rose of love will blossom. Ahimsa, non-violence. Be non-violent in your action, heart, speech, and thoughts. You may be non-violent in action due to fear of the law, but in the mind, when you said, I am going to kill them, you have already choked them. Satyam, truth. Follow the truth. Live in the moment. The phrase, be truthful, means to express the truth, your whole life, speak pleasant truth, and speak beneficial truth. Shaucham, purity. If some rice is mixed with wheat, soup powder and sand, the mixture is impure. But if the same are presented separately, you would say they are all pure. Observing the observer is saucha. It is when your own mind becomes a witness of its own actions and finds a gap between its own senses and does not mix with any other objects. Daya, compassion. When people engage in some activity or behave in a certain manner which you don't like, it triggers anger in you. Just for a moment, have compassion for the way they are. Then a shift happens. Yourself expands and laughs at the smallness of events. Astikya means faith. You reason for everything that you do and for all your experiences. When reasoning or logical breaks down, you tremble. Faith, reality, and truth are beyond logic. If you could reason out all your life and all its experiences, then you have not lived or known life fully. Every bud takes its own time to bloom. Don't force it to become a flower. Wait for the time to come, for the total blossoming in you to come. Then, why create a code of conduct? Answer. You can think of adopting a code of conduct as organization making a commitment to self-regulation. Leadership is putting into writing the conduct they expect from their employees and the ethical principles they want to guide them. With a code of conduct in place, the organization has a framework to inform ethical decision making for each and every stakeholder. While it is not a turnkey solution to every dilemma an employee faces, it shows staff the organization's guiding principles and helps them make better choices in their daily activities. A code of conduct is also a vital part of a company's compliance and legal policies. For example, in the US, public organizations must have a code of conduct in place, plus, from a compliance point of view. If an employee engages in illegal activity while at work, a code of conduct provides documentation showing they broke company policy. By creating a code of conduct, the staff understands what rules and expectations management has. It defines how to act while at work, how to communicate both internally and externally, and helps employees be successful at the company. The organization has concrete company policies to help compliance. Potential customers and business partners understand the values of the organization. So far, we have focused on internal effects of a code of conduct. But creating a code of conduct also has benefits in attracting new customers, showing the values that the organization believes in and backing it up with actions can help engender a positive and receptive attitude from the potential customers. While all businesses are different and no two codes of conduct are the same, recurring factors and themes are found among successful ones. Your organization's specific purpose for adopting a code of conduct will define the scope of aim for. Some choose to focus on only the most essential values and guidelines to not overburden employees with information they may forget. Some seek to be more comprehensive and produce documentation covering as many aspects as possible. Your code of conduct should include information in some form of regarding 1. The values of your organization believes in. Next, guidelines for behavior. Next, how employees should interact with outside parties. This is most important to upliftment of the company in a proper way. It is also essential to define the procedures and consequences of code violations where applicable. It may be more challenging to identify a code of conduct violation when it comes to company values. However, employees should know the disciplinary processes for fixed rules as harassment, tardiness, etc. Finally, codes of conduct are typically prefaced with a letter from the CEO that provides a personal touch and emphasizes the leadership team's commitment to the principles and rules it contains. There are some more important factors to consider for inclusion in your code of conduct. These are grouped into the four main areas described above. While covering every element detailed here may seem unrealistic, especially for new or small business. It is better to have something in place than react and define policies after an issue arises. Now, what is the code of ethics? Answer. Investopedia means financial media website defines a code of ethics as a guide of principles designed to help professionals conduct business honestly and with a integrity. Typically, a code of ethics outlines the mission and values of the business or organization. The approach professionals are supposed to take when they encounter a problem. The organization's core values and the ethical principles they are based on, as well as the standards to which all professionals are held. In the past, codes of ethics were commonly found only in non-profit organizations. and other similar entities, but they have since spread into the corporate world. A code of ethics is typically employed in conjunction with a company's specific politics and its code of conduct. Now, code of ethics versus code of conduct. Let us see the difference. Because the terms code of ethics and code of conduct are often used interchangeably, there is a lot of confusion surrounding their exact meaning. What they both have in common is that they attempt to encourage specific behavior. A code of ethics accomplishes this by providing guidance about values and choices, while a code of conduct clearly states which actions are appropriate and which are not. Most codes of ethics have a wide scope, covering a broad range of specific and non-specific topics. Codes of conduct tend to be much narrower in their scope, dealing with a small number of particularly relevant areas, for example, such as sexual harassment, racial discrimination, offensive language, and so on. Both codes are sometimes combined into a single document, as illustrated by the Code of Ethics and Professional Conduct created by the Linux Professional Institute. The Linux Professional Institute community is an open, safe, and inclusive space fostering sharing and collaboration regardless of age, disability, ethnicity, gender identity, and expression, level of experience, nationality, personal appearance, race, religion, or sexual orientation. The document lays down some basic ethical principle before continuing with more specific examples of dishonorable and questionable conduct. Now, benefits of a code of ethics. Let us see in detail. Number 1, sets the right culture. The most important benefit of a code of ethics is that it can foster an environment of trust, ethical behavior, integrity, and excellence. When everyone from issue to the people at the very bottom plays by the same rules and behaves in a certain way towards one another, productivity tends to grow as conflicts and confusions disappear from the workplace. In this environment, employees who might otherwise be afraid to voice their opinion feel encouraged to contribute. which is how good teams become excellent. Companies that foster an environment of trust, ethical behavior, integrity, and excellence are also better prepared to deal with unforeseen challenges because they have a very strong foundation to stand on. 2. Builds a good reputation. How? Today's customers look well beyond the price tag. With so many choices, customers gravitate toward the companies they can trust, and, and they stay far away from those companies that don't promote ethical behavior. But it's not just customers to whom ethics matter. Companies that pay strong attention to ethics and find it easier to establish lasting partnerships both within and outside their industry. 3. Helps remain in compliance with laws and regulations. See in detail. According to the landmark Sarbanes-Oxley Act of 2002, also known as the Public Company Accounting Reform and Investor Protection Act, all individuals serving on boards and organizational leaders of public companies are required to have a code of ethics to make a major corporate scandals like Enron and World come less likely to happen. Any promises a company makes and fails to comply, which can make it amenable to sue for breach of contract. So, companies that implement a code of conduct have a strong incentive to ensure ethical treatment of its employees, clients, partners, as well as the public. 4th, attracts outstanding employees. Outstanding employees come from all walks of life and they all expect to be treated justly and ethically. Companies with a code of ethics reassure potential employees that they won't be discriminated against, sexually harassed, intimidated, bullied, or subjected to any other type of workplace harassment. In the interest of fostering an open and welcoming environment, we as contributors and maintainers pledge to making participation in our project and our community a harassment-free experience for everyone, regardless of age, body size, disability, ethnicity, sex characteristics, gender identity and expression, level of experience, education, socio-economic status, nationality, personal appearance, race, religion, or sexual identity and orientation, states the Contributor Covenant. 5. Promotes social change. One less talked about benefit of adopting a code of ethics is that it promotes social change. We all live on the same planet and share the same finite amount of natural resources. So, we are all responsible for the happiness or misery of one another. by promoting positive social change. Companies can contribute to making the world a better place for everyone, not just a select few. Finally, conclusion. In this day and age, companies cannot afford to focus solely on the bottom line anymore. The ethical aspects of doing business are becoming just as important as the financial ones. श्रेयकान्ताय कल्याणनिधे निधेद्रां श्रीवेङ्कटनिवासाय श्रीवासाय मङ्गलं मङ्गलाशासनपरैर्मदाचार्यपुरोगमैः सर्वैश्च पूर्वैराचार्यैः सत्कृतायास्तु मङ्गलम्.